All right, guys. Hey, it's Q and Cole here again today. And today we're going to talk about engaging with other people's content, specifically on Instagram, because we do talk a lot about Instagram, but how this works on Instagram and like basically every other platform, and how there's like a little bit of a misconception here when it comes to producing content and engaging in content. And so there's some very important things that we want to hit, a couple stories, a couple success stories we want to talk about too, when it comes to engagement. And yeah, so that's what we're going to chat about today. So definitely hang in there and enjoy the ride.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I think a lot of people understand the posting and getting engagement on their own page, but something that's very often overlooked is engaging with other users. And I'm sure when you guys see people engage with your account and with your content, that's something you notice, something that excites you, something that you keep tabs on, and that's pretty usual across all of Instagram with everyday users and business owners and all that. So it is a very powerful tool, and Q, we can hop into it a little bit more here.
Yeah. So, like to Cole's point, like when you engage with somebody else's content, of course they get a notification, and they may or may not see that notification depending on how popular they are, right? But like just think about the context of dropping a comment on somebody else's post. And so you go do that, they get a notification about that. But anyone else who is looking at the comment section of that post is also going to get exposed to who you are and whatever you said in that comment. So that's a great opportunity to say something relevant to the post, or say something that um, contributes to the conversation a bit, so that whoever then comes into that comment section and sees what you said goes like, oh, that's a good point, or that's interesting, or I want to learn more about that, and they click on your profile and come back, right? So by engaging with other people's content, you are actually leveraging their following and helping bring their following back to you, or whoever engages with that post can potentially come back to you. Like a great way to kind of visualize this is more in terms of, like, let's say Kim Kardashian, for example, made a post and she has millions of comments on that post, and your comment was something hilarious that related to the post that people thought were funny. The people who are going through the comment section are going to like your post, right? And then if they thought it was funny, they're going to go back to your profile and see who you are. So that's like a little bit of an engagement hack there. If you think about it, you're inserting yourself into a conversation and then driving eyeballs back to your page. And yeah, go ahead, Cole.
Yeah, I will say that like that's a great example of kind of how it works. But at the same time, it's probably not the best example in terms of like how you should be using it, just like with a Kim Kardashian type page, just because there is so many people on there, and it's such a random, eclectic group of people. That a lot of the people that would be seeing you, the numbers might not make sense as to who, you're being actually in your target audience. Plus, with kind of the last year in or plus of Instagram being around, there's been all these bots that do the comments and things like that. So it's this works really well with some of those little bit more like intermediate size pages and other businesses that have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers. This works really well, and especially like if the business has curated a following kind of your target audience, those are kind of the accounts you want to be focused on doing this with. But that is a great example of kind of how it works.
Yeah, and to your point, you really want to, like, as a business owner, you want to figure out where your people are hanging, and then like dial it in and create engagement where you're going to have the maximum amount of um, opportunity in terms of like visibility, right? So to Cole's point, if you go and post something about your company or in relation to your company, maybe on Kim Kardashian's post, it probably will get overlooked. However, if you're like a celebrity gossip like news site, right? And that is your job, and that's what you do, and you're trying to drive that attention, that might be the perfect place to post, because people will kind of like, see that hilarious post, or want to learn more about that type of thing, and they'll go in that direction. But for the like sort of everyday business owner who is selling a product or service online, it's more about being much more intentional about where you are engaging. And I think like, like if you're going to engage with a account, if they have like 10,000 followers and they get like 5 to 10 comments on every one of their posts that are like real people, that is a great conversation to join, because those 5 to 10 people who are regularly commenting, or maybe let's say there's like 20 to 50 people who are regularly commenting on this particular person's account, those people will start to recognize you as a regular commenter and contributor to the conversation there. And then you're inserting yourself into that like sort of micro community. And it can be really great. A quick example is, um, a company we work with that sells these Dirty Martini products. We went in there and we started engaging with an account that had just a few comments on every one of their posts. And we made engaging comments, and we started conversations under these other accounts in the comment section. And more people started to join those conversations and then click back to the profile and actually make purchases. And that was the way that we developed initial purchases, just by engaging with other content. So yeah, go ahead, Cole.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the word you used is perfect. There was micro communities. All these different social media platforms are giant communities, but they have these micro communities built in within them. And if you can identify micro communities in these massive social media platforms that can benefit you and that you can utilize through engagement, through being seen by members of these micro communities, and putting your brand out there and becoming part of these micro communities, that's really how you take those kind of initial steps of garnering a following, garnering a fan base, garnering customers, and it just grows from there. So that's kind of the foundations, is inserting and finding the right micro communities for your brand and inserting yourself into them.
That's right. And like, I think oftentimes we think in terms of content, and if I create a good piece of content, it's going to reach a bunch of people and then they're going to come follow me. Where it's more like, create the content, focus on that. That's good to focus on. But if you go out and engage with these micro communities or these, on these posts, and you like really start to develop small relationships in different pockets, then those people are going to come back and see the content that you worked so hard to create. Right. And then when they see it and like and comment on that content, that's what's going to give your content like that momentum that is going to help it grow. And it's the process of creating content and then engaging and then focusing on the engagement, and then creating content and then focusing on the engagement. That cycle is what's going to help you snowball into success. And then, eventually have that day where your video blows up, or you get 100 followers in one day, or 1,000 followers in a week, or whatnot. So like, it's the combination of both of those things. And it's not just, hopefully I create a great piece of content and it goes viral. It's like, why don't you do the thing to help it go viral? Make that, drive your own traffic, essentially, right? If you think about your Instagram feed as your website, bring people to it through engagement. And it's easy to do. So there's, really no excuse to not do that.
Yeah, one last point I'd want to make on the importance of this, and kind of building that foundation through engaging with other pages and accounts and comment sections and micro communities, is with your content that you post. And if you do a really good job of creating awesome content and you make some awesome reels and they have that ability to go viral, if you don't have that foundation of the right user base for you, that the right following, targeted followers on your account, the algorithm is going to have a much harder time of finding other people to show your content to that are the right people for you. If you do this and build that foundation of a following and get to the 2, 3, 4, 500,000 people that are targeted users, that are within your target audience, it could be potential customers for you, then that work that you put into your content has the ability to go find more and more of those people. And so, to your point of the snowball, that it's so important to have that foundation. I was actually talking to a member of this group yesterday on the phone, who's a musician and has had some issues with boosting posts and using ads, bringing in the wrong type of people as followers to her page that were kind of from all over the planet, didn't really care about her music or products. And It's because she started doing that too early. She only had, 100 followers, and they were kind of eclectic. And basically we had this same conversation. I said, you have to go manually bring the right people back to your account through engaging with them on the platform, build that foundation, and then you can kind of get into the paid ads, the other things that can help you grow that account further. But you need that foundation. And the best way to do that is engaging in micro communities like we talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to wrap it up, I do have a quick story about somebody I know personally, who, back in a while ago, actually a few years ago, wanted to become known in the crypto space. And all they did was they went on LinkedIn and they found posts of people who were somewhat popular in that space, or popular posts about crypto. And all they did was comment their opinion on different aspects of crypto and join the conversation, essentially. And they just shared their opinion in the comments. And then when someone commented back, they would comment back, and they would just have a conversation in the comment section. And they did this on LinkedIn, they did this on Twitter, and they did this on Instagram primarily. All they were doing was commenting and engaging in conversation. And as they did more and more of that, their profiles started to grow. Even though he wasn't posting content really, his profiles were growing because people were seeing his opinion. They were seeing him joining these conversations. They're like, who is this guy? And then they would go back to his profile and follow him. And he didn't even produce content for like 6 months after he had built up his name in these comment sections so well. So he didn't even produce content, until he was essentially known. And now this guy is, very well known in the crypto space and kind of like seen as an authority there. So he built authority without even producing content. And I guess you could consider the content that he produced as the comments that he created, but it wasn't, the traditional means of like, I'm going to put, content out towards people. So I thought that was really cool, and just a bit of inspiration for anyone who is maybe like struggling right now to, get the ball rolling with their Instagram account or any of their social media accounts. It's like, just take a deep breath, and then realize that all you really have to do is go find the content that is meaningful to you and your business and go engage with it authentically. Drop those comments. And yeah, you're going to have to, join quite a few different conversations and keep that going. But this is the stuff that ends up contributing towards your success in the long term.
Yeah, just to finish off that story real quick. He went on to work with like Bill Gates, I'm pretty sure, on one of his crypto projects.
Yeah, right.
So this isn't just for your e-commerce business, to garner customers for smaller products. Like, this works for no matter what you want to do with your business. There is communities out there that you can be engaging with and growing. There's a target audience for you on Instagram, on these social media platforms. If you're an artist, sell really high ticket services, cars, whatever it is, there's an opportunity there. And you just have to find the right micro communities to give yourself that opportunity and be consistent with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's literally about getting attention and like insert yourself into the communities and conversations that can drive you some attention, and it'll work out. So yeah, I think that's it. We just pretty much covered it and just wanted to come in here and let you guys know our thoughts on engagement, and yeah, just go out and engage. And I think you're going to see the fruits of your labor if you just consistently do that. I think you'll be very happy. So
cool.
That's it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, you know what? Real quick, I'm going to do a quick shameless plug here. So we do have a course called Social Media Now and Forever on our Shopify store, which is at shop.commandtraffic.com. And in that course, I actually explain a little bit more about this story of the crypto guy who made himself known in all these other communities. And I go into a little bit more detail about how he did it and the techniques he used. So if that is interesting to you, then go ahead and check out shop.commandtraffic.com. And then there's, a bunch of other guides and resources on there as well that you can check out if you need a little assistance with this type of stuff.
Sweet.
All righty, guys. We'll see you later. Fuck, dude. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did.
What?